This is all very unflattering now that I'm realizing. Well, hello everyone, George here. What we're doing today is we've got some bad splitters, specifically ones that break down power and USB into separate data and power lines. So we're going to be repairing these things by swapping out some Ethernet cables, some extra long ones we got to test if this fix would work. And apparently it does. The big issue is we don't want, 6 feet or whatever this is, probably 10 feet of Cat6 cable all over the place. So we need to disconnect this one. This is going to suck. Come on. I don't even see the tab. There it is. And these are just some 2-foot long cables we got off of Amazon. Oh, there we are. And we're going to disconnect this one over here. And of course, it's flipped 180 degrees so that the thing is on the bottom side, which makes it really difficult. All right, now that we've done that, we just need to mount our power splitter so it doesn't kind of jingle jangle all over the place. Let's get some tape. All right, so we've got our tape, our 3M, whatever the heck this is. Let's just cut a little bit off that. Great. And because we can't replace the zip ties without having to dismount the entire unit, we're just gonna use some of this double-sided tape to hold everything in place for now. If we can get the double-sided tape off, that's the tricky part. So as I'm struggling to remove this double-sided tape, it might be a good idea to say, hey, I've gotten a promotion. So I'm no longer Associate Director of VR, or for VR, however you want to say it, for Maverick, the Machine and Artificial Intelligence Virtual Reality Center. I am now also the Director for Immersive Technology and Learning at Rowan University. Pretty much, I'm the one who's going to be responsible for managing all of these labs and facilities, as well as leading the content creation team for when we create our own VR modules, which we're already kind of doing. I think we're good. Things are a little bit messy here, so we're just going to tuck some of these wires back, and then we're going to put the mount plexiglass plate back up so that students don't mess with this stuff. All right, so this goes here, that goes there, and like I said, these wires are now being a little bit of a pain in the rear. Let's see if we can't move some things. There we go. That's good. And we'll start with hand tightening. So the last week has been pretty crazy. The reason is because we've had to hire about 15 students who are the student pod operators. And their role is to do all the meet and greets with the students who come in and use the systems, assist them with technical issues and get them set up. The idea being that we're going to have a lot of people come through here. And my job is not hosting students or facilitating their ability to put on a headset. I've got a much more critical job. One of those is, of course, maintaining these things, but that's kind of a half job. It's not my real job. This is just a temporary thing, hopefully, until we get more up to speed, and then I can eventually put out a position to hire, which would be sort of a pod manager position, where they would deal with student scheduling and then making sure students are doing what they're supposed to be doing and so forth. Or it could be a little bit technical. That wouldn't hurt, having someone else here besides myself to do this kind of work. But really, I hate the admin work, so I'd much rather hire someone to handle all that stuff in the future. Maybe sometime in 2026, if I'm lucky. All right. That's one done. We're going to go to another station now. So now we're at the other station. We got our 2-footers. Those are ordered. Actually, we're running into some problems already. These chairs have these cables wrapped around them. Oh, let's do the swap first. Oh, man, this is uncomfortable. So we're taking out this gaudy yellow temporary cable. All right, we'll do the same thing over here. All right, good. All right, let's get our short one. Get it in here. There we go. And we're going to feed this up and over here. This is a fix. It might become permanent, but it's at least a temporary one. For whatever reason, the maker of these splitters for USB into separate data and power channels, like the failure rate's really high, I've been told, and we just happen to get a really bad batch. So bad, in fact, that even the replacement ones we received are faulty. So instead of using the splitter at all, we had the splitter doing the power side, but then we used a different port on the device to transmit data, bypassing it completely, which worked and got the system online. And it was really important for us to do this because this semester we have a full house with some of the first classes coming through on Monday. But of the, why can't I get this in here? You know what, we're gonna slightly unscrew this side and give it a little bit more room to move. There we go. Can you get in there now? We can't really have any stations down this semester, especially not at the start, because I think the first class coming in is 28 students and 3 of the desks in here were down. That means a student would have to sit out somewhere. Normally you would be running these stations asynchronously, as it's called. Instead, what we're doing this first semester to make sure that the concept is proven here at Rowan is that we are having the TAs and the teacher, or the adjunct, whoever it is, come in with the students, and they're going to do the VR all together. All right, that's another one done. Now, one thing I do have to say, and I don't have to say this, I don't have to be nice if I don't need to be, but the support that we get from our providers, which in this case is Dreamscape Learn, has been pretty damn phenomenal. They identified the issue, they had tracked it down, and I think under a week's time, they worked with their vendor, and they gave us the solution of splitting stuff in like a single day. And then we had this temporary solution. We just didn't have any short cat whatever, 5 to whatever number you want, cables around. So we ended up doing this temporary fix where we shoved these giant, anywhere from 6 to 12 foot length cables all over the place, just to make sure the pods are operational and online. There we go. That one didn't even have a tab. We're gonna disconnect this one over here. Perfect. And the only reason why they didn't send us the 2 footers to replace it by was because I could get this stuff faster buying it myself. So all in all, I'm pretty impressed with how quickly they help us out. That was a fast one. Now we can just put this stuff back on, and then we'll have to do a test. I don't know if I'm gonna have time before I have to run to my first meeting today. As I was saying, one of the reasons I'm in here doing this before my day really begins is because I've got my weekly meeting on Fridays in the morning with a sponsored DoD project we've had for the last, I'd say, 3 years at this point. I probably uploaded a video or 2 at some point of material we were allowed to release. More importantly is we've got visitors from Montclair University coming at 11:30, and they're visiting the Free Roam Pod, which, if you watch some of my videos, is that big VR system that you can walk around in, up to 6 people. It's all wireless, but they're going to be here probably for a while. They have bought their own version of the system, and they wanted to come by and take a look at ours since we've had it for a year now. Do I have any more bolts? I think I'm out. Oh, here's one. I just want to secure this on the side where the students' legs are. That way they won't accidentally pull it or tug it down. But anyway, we've got a full day doing demonstrations for visitors from Montclair. I'm working with Lenovo to buy our developer workstations. And so there's going to be supply demand issues if I need to get the 4090s, or I can't get a 4090, I learned, but 4080s in the computers we're doing. I think I need to do one more workstation, which is this one over here. And it's the worst because we ran out of, that's a horribly unflattering. This is all very unflattering now that I'm realizing. And then later today, the entire faculty and the TAs are coming in to test out the systems before the students come in on Monday. We always give them like a dress rehearsal run on Fridays so that they're prepped on Monday. I just said dress rehearsals, and then we do it every Friday as if we actually know what we're doing yet. But this Friday is the first Friday where we're really going to go through everything. We're going to run through something called an environmental starter pack. She had this great idea to have the students come in and mess around in VR. The idea behind this is, you know, it's new, it's fun. They're going to be distracted. Oh God, the cables just fell. They're going to be distracted. They're going to want to play around. And so this starter pack, this starter environmental pack, just has a series of different locations that you can transport to classroom. It's all done. It's a multiplayer thing. It's all done live in real time so that the faculty member can talk to the students and work with them and go over things. But we're gonna, I gotta get my cable in here before I seal this up. We're gonna have them come in, get out there, VR jitters first. And then we are going to have them do the actual enhanced learning content, the modules themselves. And if we do it right and this works out, hopefully they'll be kind of over the novelty of VR real fast. Still interested, but at least not freaking out, doing stupid things. I mean, I can tell you I've done so many dumb things inside these VR worlds at this point. You can mess with people, you can stick your hands through their faces, you can obstruct their view, you can sneak up behind them. But we're going to get that all out of their system. Everything's good here, right? Yeah. We're going to get it all out of their system before they start the course content. And that is all beginning on Monday. Yes, I almost wish there was a washer to make this a little bit easier. I'm kind of worried about snapping the plexiglass every now and then. And also, if they gave me a washer, I would be able to have a little bit more leeway, because it looks like some of these are just, I mean, we're talking like a millimeter off from being perfect. The holes would be larger, and I wouldn't worry about things being so damn precise. Why can't I get this one in? It started this way, should be able to come out this way. There we are. All right. You know what? One of these sides over here is kind of dipping down. I want to see if I can find a replacement for that so a student doesn't catch it. All right, I just spent the last few minutes looking for one, and of course it was under my butt the whole time. So we're good. We just got to tighten this last one in. I'll report to support that we've replaced them all with shorter length cables. Not that the length really matters, but it's just good to close the ticket, make everything completed for now. So that's what we're doing this week. Next week, everything starts up for us. So classes are in session. Every day, there's at least 2 sections of biology that are going to be coming through. Those biology sections are going to be spending roughly 20 to 30 minutes inside of VR, and then that goes on all the way through the entire semester. I've got 2 months. We're doing a soft opening at the moment. I've got about 2 months to get this whole facility looking good, get the developer stations up, all the artwork, all the rugs, all the creature comforts that we need to make it look like a real space. And then we're going to have our grand opening, currently slated sometime in April. See you all next time. So long, goodbye.